Significant personal progress often figures an immediate, aggressive assault on your self-worth. It's a predictable pattern. As soon as you step toward a higher purpose, your inner dialogue shifts toward disqualification. Modern psychology frames this as a standard identity crisis, an internal struggle to maintain a positive self-image under pressure. From a spiritual perspective, your emotions are secondary. The actual target is jurisdictional access. The resistance you feel is an attempt to bypass your authority and exploit the assigned territory. Your identity is under fire because of a specific functional capacity you carry. You are viewed as a high-threat asset, and the goal of the opposition is to ensure that asset remains dormant. You are a high-value target who has been granted a specific level of operational clearance, yet you've likely never been trained to use the authorization you hold. The foundation of this authorization is the Imago Dei, the image of God, established in the opening pages of Genesis. While we often interpret image as a passive resemblance or a shared moral compass, the ancient Hebrew context describes a functional mandate. To bear the image was to act as a physical placeholder for a king's authority in a distant province. Humanity was designed as the Creator's operational representatives. You are coded to govern the physical world by the standards of a higher kingdom. This is delegated authority. Like a police officer, your power comes from the legal standing of the government you represent. As long as they wear that badge, the entire weight of the law stands firmly behind their commands. Your spiritual identity is this same type of legal authorization. It is a functional status that allows you to enforce the protocols of heaven within your sphere of influence. This structural reality creates an obstacle for any opposing force. Because your authority is delegated by the Creator, darkness cannot simply overrule it or strip it away through force. In the Garden of Eden, the serpent demonstrated the primary workaround. He didn't attack the humans. He attacked their understanding of their standing by asking, "Did God really say?" He introduced a doubt that targeted their right to rule. The strategy relies on voluntary forfeiture. If convinced your authorization is invalid, you stop exercising it, leaving territory undefended, like an officer stepping aside. The law remains in effect, but without a confident representative, it becomes functionally useless. The objective of spiritual opposition is not to win a battle of strength, but to maintain a state of deception where you believe you are unauthorized to act. When you acknowledge your functional status and stop debating your worth, your daily actions take on a different weight. You begin to see that in the presence of legitimate, delegated authority, darkness has no legal defense. It is bound by the protocols of the kingdom you represent. Jesus operated from this exact realization. He didn't negotiate with spirits or plead for change. He issued authoritative commands that enforced a higher law. This legal framework applies to your entire life. When you conduct a business meeting with absolute integrity, you are displacing the law of greed with the law of justice. You are enforcing the standards of your home jurisdiction in a space that has been dominated by chaos. Every act of service or word of truth is a jurisdictional act. You are operating as a functioning embassy, bringing the order and life of heaven into territory that is currently under occupation. The most significant threat to the opposition is not your talent or your resources, but your simple awareness that you carry the right to rule. This week, shift your posture. Stop defending your right to exist and start offensively exercising your right to govern. Operate from the reality of your standing. If you are ready to claim this jurisdictional reality, comment the word authorized below. Share this with someone who needs to recognize their own capacity to lead, and I'll see you in the next video.